Tommy, did you know that Honda sold 162,000 Accords last year?
Yeah, and what we have here is one of those 160,000 Accords, because this is a brand new Honda Accord hybrid.
Yep, this is the Touring, the top of the line, and what makes this so phenomenal is that it gets 44 mpg combined. Back when I was a young man, that would have been something that a scooter would have gotten and not a mid-size sedan.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And in this video, we're going to go over the exterior of this Accord Touring Hybrid. We're going to talk about the interior, talk about how it compares to some of its competition, like the Camry and the Sonata, talk about everything you need to know before buying an Accord Hybrid. This just in.
Yeah, now keep in mind, of course, this competes directly with the new Camry, and I went on the launch of this a couple of years ago and I was impressed by the build quality. I was impressed by the design. Look, there's nothing revolutionary here except for the powertrain. It's mainly very much a conservative design, but it works for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think especially this rear 3/4 is the best area of the Accord, the way this roof kind of slants down into this fastback design, and then this tail light kind of accentuates the width of the car. So it's a very attractive looking car. The wheels down here, we've got 19-inch wheels, pretty good for a mid-size sedan. Just a little bit of chrome and bright work, but not too much. It's a very subtle design.
You have the key so we can pop the trunk. We might as well show them how much room is in there.
Yeah, for sure. So it isn't a full-on liftback. This is still a conventional sedan, so the trunk pops open, and that's about 16.7 cubic feet worth of space.
40-60 split, Tommy, and it's pretty phenomenal amount of space back there considering that this is a hybrid and there's a battery that lives underneath the floor.
Now this is a this just in, so I'm still kind of figuring this car out, but it does have a popper there, and then that will lower the rear seat. Now there is a little bit of a lip here, so it's not a totally flat load space, but it is nice that you've got that 60-40 split.
Now if Nathan were here, he'd jump in there to show you just how much room it has.
Underneath here, you're going to find your air compressor and a little bit of additional storage as well.
Do you want me to try to jump in there and show how much room it has?
No, that's a Nathan thing.
Yeah, it's okay. I miss Nathan, so
we're going to have to censor this now.
We're not going to have to censor this. Look at this. I can comfortably sit in here, and if I were to scrunch in, I could get my entire body in there, which is, 250 pounds worth of Roman, which is a phenomenal amount of space.
Yeah, so pretty good amount of trunk space. Now let's go to the other end. Let's show you that engine. Now the Accord can still be had with a non-hybrid configuration in the
1.5 liter turbo.
Yeah, 1.5. I think it's the sport trim, but this one does have the hybrid system. Now horsepower and torque, 204 horsepower, 241 pound-feet of torque. One of the downsides of the Accord is it only comes in front-wheel drive. So Camry is a standard hybrid. You can get this in a non-hybrid, but Camry, you can also get an all-wheel drive, which you can't in the Accord.
Yeah, I think the Camry, especially design-wise, is a little sportier.
I don't know. I kind of like this like squinty-eyed design that the Honda has. I think this is an overall more attractive look than the Camry. But certainly, like in the XSE, the Toyota looks a little bit more aggressive. I
would say it's a little bit more classy. I'm going to close the trunk while you talk about the front of the car.
Well, the big thing I want to talk about is this grille. It looks very Acura, the way that this kind of point makes its way toward the sides of the car, and then you've got that flat Honda logo and then the two-tone wheels. So it's yeah, I think it's a good looking car, just not revolutionary. All right, let's go to the inside.
Yeah, why don't you jump in the driver's seat and I'll jump in the passenger seat. Mary will jump in the back,
yeah,
and then we'll get the Monroney and we'll talk about price, because once upon a time these were relatively affordable. But now if you want affordable, of course, you get yourself a Civic.
Or you get the base model.
Yeah, you get the base.
This is going to have pretty much all the goodies. Very well equipped interior here. So we got 12.3-inch screen running the Google operating system. So you've got Google Maps. You've got the home screen with the little widgets. Very easy to use and very colorful too. I really like that Honda actually incorporates some color into the screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. We've got the teeny tiny volume knob, but at least it does have a volume knob. Steering wheel feels really, really good. It's a 3-spoke design, leather stitched with a little bit of piano black accenting. Heated steering wheel there down at the bottom. And then the primary design element of this interior is going to be this kind of mesh look that runs the width of the inside.
Yeah, now in terms of price, this all in with everything and the destination charge, it's actually pretty reasonable at $1,095 because manufacturers have been upping those recently. We're at $40,850, and that does include, Tommy, basically a car that's built in Marysville, Ohio, with only 20% of the content coming from Japan, for those of you who are interested. It's funny that both the Camry and the Accord are some of the most locally built, by locally I mean American built vehicles out there.
Yeah, for sure. So other bits of technology here, digital instrument cluster. So you got all your information, got some configurability there. You can scan through various things through that screen. You do have little bars for your fuel and for your battery state of charge, which is kind of unique. This is not a plug-in hybrid. It's just a normal hybrid.
It's a 4-mode drive mode system, Tommy.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this is like, it's not a conventional CVT. So this vehicle operates a lot like an electric vehicle with the gasoline to supplement the power, which is really interesting. It's a very cool and innovative hybrid system, which means there's no belt and cone to fail, which is great.
There are a lot of luxury features in here. For instance, you've got both heated and cooled seats, which is something that you would get on, much higher end, in this case, Acuras. I do love these vent controls. They're real, and I've always loved kind of this honeycomb pattern. I just feel everything is very nice to the touch. It feels more expensive. Even these little clicks, you hear the little clicks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
those are so nice, yeah.
And then Mary, I'll take that camera from you so you can put your little seatbelt on there. We do have wireless charging down here. Physical, which is good to see. Shifter, a couple of cup holders back here. Camera's losing it. There we go. And then big center console, so lots of storage space back there.
What is it with the Japanese and these teeny tiny volume knobs? I'm glad it's there, but just like Toyota, look how tiny that is.
It is just a little guy.
Yeah. Maybe a little too little?
No, I think it does the trick.
Really? This is like, it just feels like, you just put a big knob there, especially the volume knob, which is something that you use a lot. Now, which drive mode are you going to take this thing around the block in?
So first we are going to try it in normal, and then we can try the sport and the econ setting.
Now, we do have Google Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is nice. I think those have become almost ubiquitous in my life, at least. I like to listen to podcasts, and it's nice when I can switch over from my Meta glasses, where I listen to my podcast, to the car seamlessly. Want to give it a little bit of the beans and see how it drives?
Yep. So it does simulate shifting, even though there is no shifting that needs to be done. But it's a really smooth driving car. That's kind of the way I would describe this as buttery. It's not that sporty.
I love this ride. Cars have gotten so firm.
Yeah, that's
over
what I was going to
last 10
say.
years.
It's pretty soft.
And this one is actually pretty soft. It's well dampened, so you can feel the bumps, but you don't feel like you're losing any control. And yet, I could easily cross-country this. How about around the corner?
Yeah, it feels really good. It's got some pretty good there's not a lot of steering feel or feedback from the wheel, but it handles pretty flat. This is a really nice blend of ride quality, firmness, and comfort. And I think that's what Honda does really well, is they nail the driving aspects. I think that it's more sorted than the Toyota or the Hyundai or Kia, which is a huge reason that people buy these. It's just almost a perfect driving midsize sedan. They just nailed it.
Let's let you stop, put in sport and floor it, and see how quick it accelerates.
It's going to be the same.
You're probably right. I do think you're right.
When you floor these things, they give you all the power.
This is much more refined.
Yeah, it's not fast, but it's plenty adequate for driving around on a regular basis.
You know what I like about this car? Which way are you going, by the way?
I'm just going to put it over here for our close.
Oh, okay, nice. You know what I like about this car? I like the fact that you're going to interrupt this woman walking her doggies, Tommy.
Yeah, she's got a little fetch game going here.
Yeah, she does. How cute. Look at them go. Look at them go. Mary, can you show that when you get out of the car? They're so cute.
That one looks like a little cow.
That one looks like it looks like a little rabbit chasing the ball around.
There we go.
What I was saying, Tommy, is you know what I like about this?
What do you got?
What I like about it is we don't have screen everything. We have a traditional sedan with traditional sedan ride. We have plenty of room, and we have a price, even at $40,000, that is relatively reasonable in this day and time. Once upon a time, this would have been a $30,000 car, and the Civic would have been a $20,000 car, but now everything's kind of jumped up $10K.
Well, folks, I'd love to hear your input on what you want to see us to do with this Accord, because this is just the first look this just in. I like what I'm seeing. It's actually cheaper by a lot than the average new car price of $49,000. So even though this thing's fully loaded, it's still $9,000 less than the average new car price. So a lot to like here.
Do you think that sedans will ever make a comeback?
No.
Really?
I don't think to the extent that they were, but I do like driving them. I still think they're a better experience than the average
the problem is
crossover.
you sit low, you don't have that storage space in the back, even though you do have a big trunk.
Yeah, but they drive great. Yeah.
And it feels like driving your dad's car.
All right, guys, let us know what you think in the comment section below. This has been Tommy.
And Roman saying, another This Just In, and we will see you next time. Ciao.